Hello all, my name is Pastor Wellington Chiomazi, and I'm one of the pastors here at Wesley Foundation at Purdue University. What does Christmas mean to me? Well, to me, Christmas is all about feasting and community. The Christmas period in Zimbabwe, where I come from, is a week-long period between Christmas Day, which is December 25, and the 1st of January. The important days in the period is 25 December, which is the Christmas Day where we commemorate the birth of Jesus Christ, and December 26, which is Boxing Day, and that's the day we use for exchanging gifts, and January 1, which begins on December 31 midnight up to the 1st of January. Now, the Christmas period in Zimbabwe can be very exciting. I have very vivid childhood memories of how my family and the whole community celebrated Christmas. All and sundry, children and adults eagerly waited for Christmas. In hindsight, it so happens that Christmas was the focal point throughout the whole year. As people toiled in cities, in farms, and in mines, they would account for their hard work during the year at Christmas time. Men would trek back to their rural homes with enough food for the family and guests, including uninvited ones as well. New clothes for all their children, spouses, and parents, and of course, recently released albums for the ecstatic dances during Christmas period. Women who are normally rural home caretakers would have their children, would have their well taken care of livestock and crops to show off. This was also a time for children to show their parents, especially their dads, their school reports as a way of extorting gifts for good performance at school. Of course, poor school performers would also give all sorts of excuses for not having school reports. For example, they would cite that they had outstanding fees, they lost some books, and so forth. I also recall my devout grandfather who would take Christmas as an opportunity for his children and grandchildren, that it is by God's grace that we were coming together again after a year being away from each other. My grandfather, may his soul rest in peace, was such a prolific preacher and orator, to the extent that at some point one would mistake that gathering to be a funeral, when almost all cried because of the emotions he aroused during his preaching. But honestly speaking, I tend to feel he used to make these prayer sessions too long. After all, at the end of the prayer sessions, we were all set to eat like we've never done throughout the whole year. This has remained our family tradition up to date. So, to me, Christmas is all about feasting and community. Of course, it is centered around the tradition of celebrating the birth of our Lord Jesus the Christ. However, I get to embody the message of Christ, that is the message of love, by coming together as families and feasting together. This also happens to be a profound moment for getting to know each other as members of the family, as well as catching up with goings on in each other's lives. So this year, 2020, is going to be a very different Christmas. We are going to celebrate it away from each other, maybe because of COVID-19. And for me and my family, some we are separated by distance, some are thousands of miles away. But however, let me take this opportunity to wish all a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2021 ahead of us. Please, despite and in spite of COVID-19 this year, take a moment to reach out to someone you call or consider family and show them you love and care about them. Peace.